welcome to Metal Vice, a podcast where we talk about all things music.
Well, the things we care about.
That's right, which is mainly metal music and live music. I'm your host, Brian, joined by the other host,
Karen.
And for this episode, it is a movie night episode again.
Yes, another one.
I think last week we did Heavy Trip, or the podcast was Heavy Trip. This week is the sequel to that movie, Heavier Trip.
It is.
Both of which we saw at Metal Movie Nights here in Chicago, a little group that puts on movies here in Chicago every now and then, a couple times a year. This is our first time seeing this. This was back in 2024.
Yep.
The week of Thanksgiving, I think, is when they did like the double feature because it was the premiere, or you looked this up. It wasn't the world premiere.
North America premiere.
Something like that. Yeah. Some sort of premiere here in Chicago. And there was like
it was release. North America release.
Release. Okay.
Yeah, because the premiere was like in Austin or in Texas somewhere.
Okay.
So yeah, this was the release. So
there's like a little, when we got there was like a little introduction, like, hey, thanks for coming out, checking this out. Thanks for Metal Movie Nights for putting this on, by I think the director and like the writer of this or something. I can't remember. At the event though, you could buy this DVD the day before it was released. We didn't. We ended up picking these up at Bucket of Blood, which is a record store, movie store, and like bookstore here in Chicago. Really cool spot. You just found out they're moving at some point.
Well, yeah, that's what they said on social media, that their lease is up, so they're not closing. They're just looking to where to relocate.
But a super, super cool spot. Like I said, we picked these up there like several months later, a couple years later even.
Yeah, because we just got these this winter.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But it is the Music Box Selection Edition, which is really cool because when you play this DVD, the Music Box sort of logo comes up, which I was really shocked to see.
Yeah.
I don't remember if that happened for the first DVD or not.
No, I don't remember that.
That also was a Music Box special selection or whatnot. But yeah, so just like last week, we're going to dive into it. We're going to try to go over everything that we remember from the movie.
Yeah, we were just discussing that. We literally just watched this, but I don't necessarily remember scene by scene by scene by scene.
So we'll see how this goes. Definitely be some spoilers. So if you want to watch the movie yourself, check that out first, then come back to this, or, do whatever. Definitely worth checking out the movie for sure. But we're just going to go over the movie and sort of share our thoughts at the end, what we thought of the movie and whatnot. So yeah, but before we do that, let's do our sort of housekeeping shit up front. And that is how to get in contact with us. So we have email, which is metalvice1@gmail.com. That's a good way to reach us. We are also on Instagram at metalvice1. And then if you're watching us on YouTube, just leave a comment as well. And the final way, coming up and just chatting with us at a show in between bands
yep.
Whatnot, just not during a set for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely a pet peeve of us is people talking during the show. So we try our best not to do that. But yeah, I guess let's dive into it.
So this starts, I guess, kind of right after Heavy Trip ends, where the police have arrested them and now they're in jail.
Yeah.
Or in a prison in Norway.
Yeah, it starts off with them like in the not the convention hall, the cafeteria, setting up
convention hall. Yeah,
setting up their gear because they're going to start playing music. I'm not sure how much time has passed between them getting arrested in here. Clearly, they went to court, I'm assuming, and got arrested. They're in a Norwegian prison. The main Rambo lady from the first, the army girl, is in the prison now as a guard, because she brings in a sign that says no post-apocalyptic reindeer-grinding, corpse abusing, Christ abolishing, whatever genre of music it is. I can't remember what the long thing is.
You remember most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember all of it
but she's like slaps that with her like billy club, like little chalkboard, like none of this music.
Yeah.
So they're like, we're here, we're Impaled Rektum, we're about to play you. And he says that, and then she slaps it like, you're not playing that style of music. And then Toro, the singer, is like, really good music or something.
No, he says dance music.
Oh, is that what it was?
Dance music.
Yeah. So they start playing that, and the inmates who are sitting there watching like kind of roll their eyes, like whatever. They start dancing with each other, and she's like, all right, nah, that's good. That's good. So she uses her key card to get out of the room and go do something else. At which point the band breaks into their songs and whatnot. Yeah. She comes back in and starts like bringing the riot police or something. They tackle them to stop them from playing their music. And then we just sort of go through the day of the life in prison with these guys. Zatrix is the librarian.
He is, yeah. So that's funny because he's a librarian in the Finnish town that they came from as well. So
Yeah. Well, was he a librarian or was he like a salesperson of like the music, like worked at like their Sam Goody or something?
I thought it was librarian.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But in any case, the warden comes up to him and he's like, "Hey, yeah, so we really love your selection of music that you're getting. But could we get any other types of music?
Any other genres? Yeah.
Like the inmates are really looking for other stuff." And Zatrix kind of looks at him and he's just like, "No." And the warden's like, "Okay, thank you." The drummer, I can't remember his name. He's in his cell. Ola.
Oula, I think.
Ula. But he's in his cell, and if you remember from the previous movie, he's got very serious anger issues. So he's trying to meditate and just zone out. But he hears like this screeching noise from the cell next to him. So he starts banging on the walls. It's the guitarist who's trying to learn some new riffs, and just he can't do it. He's struggling to learn a new riff.
Which is always, it's been a theme that like he can't come up with a unique riff. That was from the first one where he would always play riffs of other musicians that are part of a song. So.
Right. And then Toro is a janitor.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, which is funny because in the first one he is a janitor at the insane asylum.
Yep.
Yeah. So pretty much their life has just lifted and shifted.
Yes,
prison.
lift and shift over to prison. I think this is the time Fisto arrives.
Yep.
So their prison is like an Alcatraz type prison. It's out in the middle of the water. So a helicopter comes in and it's this big producer guy who is like talking them up about Impaled Rektum.
Yeah, because they're just sitting at a table, all four of them on one side, and they're trying to like think like, well, maybe a lawyer is coming. Maybe like we don't know who's coming. So like they know that they have a meeting, but they don't know what for.
With who? Yeah.
And after they kind of discuss like, oh, could it be this? Could it be this? Like what is it? Like you said, Fisto comes in and sits down, and he basically says like, you're Impaled Rektum. Like we have a great opportunity for you. I have an opening at my festival, and then he slides a flyer, and it's for
Wacken.
Yeah.
And they'll pay them $50,000.
Right. Yeah.
And they're all super excited except for Zatrix, who's just like, no, we're not playing this festival.
Yeah. And he says the festival is like a commercialized poser event.
Yes. Yeah, he's starting to fill into that, what I would say sort of like, I don't say typical, but like gatekeeper-esque type metalhead of like, that's not metal, this is metal.
Yeah.
Those are posers. It's like, it's over commercialized. That's not what metal's all about type thing. So he's like one of those type of people.
Like if you don't listen to this type of metal, you're not a metalhead.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So he's definitely falling into that sort of characteristic of as his character is. And they're all like, what do you mean we're not playing you? We didn't even discuss this as a band. And he's like, goes through that like it's over commercialized. They're posers. Also, we're in prison. And he's like, oh yeah, we are. So I don't understand why the band was thinking like, oh, we can get out and play. Maybe like they were thinking they can get like a day pass or something. I don't know what was going on.
I don't know. Does Norwegian prisons give day passes?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I honestly don't know much about prison. So maybe you can get a work pass because there's people that get out and work and then they go back to prison.
Yeah. So Fisto leaves. I think we cut to the slaughterhouse farm, the reindeer farm.
Oh yeah.
And the guitarist, I can't remember his name, sorry, but his father opens the mail and has like a heart attack and falls over. Turns out like they're in serious debt. They need like $30,000 to raise for the farm. Otherwise the bank's going to repossess the farm and bulldoze it. Got back to the prison. It's now with the warden and the main guard lady. And they're talking to him. They're like, hey, we're sorry about your father. We're going to do everything we can. We're going to try to get you out of here so you can go to the funeral or not go see him and whatnot.
Yeah, he hasn't died.
Yeah. But then the warden gets a call that like, hey, the tour group is here. Or like some people are here.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is, but it's like he's to present the prison to like this group of people or whatever. And he says it like, we want people to come to prison.
He wants his prison to be ranked like number 1. It's got like a 9.8 ranking out of 10.
So people want to come to prison.
Yeah, he's like, we want to make this the best prison in the world that people want to come to, basically. Yeah. So really funny. Like he's a hospitality person. He wants to like have the best hotel. And he just views his prison as like a hotel type thing.
Yeah.
So he goes to deal with that. The prison guard lady, the Rambo lady, turns around. She's like, "You're getting what you deserve. Like, you're not leaving here. This is gonna suck for you. Blah blah blah."
Well, she was saying like you're gonna be stuck here with me because she's seeing like her position going from like the top commander of like this border post to now being a babysitter in a prison.
Yeah, she got shunned. She got her like blacklisted. Her career was destroyed because of the events from Heavy Trip.
Yeah. So now they need to be stuck there with her.
Yes. So they go back to the cafeteria and they're having salmon buffet.
Salmon buffet.
Again.
Which if you look at the buffet compared to what the pictures of U.S. prisons, the food's pretty good.
So I think that's the thing with like prisons over in Europe is they are, a little better typically.
Yeah. Well, some parts of Europe, yeah.
Yeah, not the one Randy was in, but like, in the Netherlands and whatnot, a little bit better.
Well,
a lot better.
Hopefully we never know what they actually are like, but.
So he sits down, he's with the rest of the band. He's like, fucking salmon again. Why are we doing salmon? And then he's like, we're going to break out. We're going to break out because I got to go see my dad. I got to help save the farm.
Well, I think Toro's like, we're going to play the festival.
Yeah.
Like, because that will get the money to
exactly
pay for the farm.
So we're going to break out. We're going to play the festival, get the money for your dad, save the farm because your dad's like a dad to me. We have to do this. And eventually the band's like, all right, fine. Even Zactrix comes around. He's like, all right, fine. We'll break out. And the guitarist comes out and he has all of this like hand-drawn child sort of.
Like in crayon.
Here's how we're going to break out. Rambo lady shows back up and she's like, This is an escape plan? You thinking of escaping? There's no way you're going to escape. And then for some reason, he just like tackles her. She's like, because the only way you can get out is with this key card here. So he tackles her to like grab the key card from her and ends up swallowing the key card as she's like wrestling with him on the ground. Other guards come in because Toro comes over and try to like help his friend. Other guards come in because it's starting to be like a little bit of a riot sort of thing. And Ola, the drummer guy, I think that's his name, stands up and just turns to the rest of the inmates because they're just sitting there looking like, what the fuck's going on? And he's like, they're going to take away the salmon buffet. And then that's when the rest of the prisoners start to riot.
Yeah.
Around this time, you see the warden. It cuts to the warden walking down a hall. And an inmate gets thrown through the wall. And the warden's like with the tour group and he's like goes through and looks at the wall and he's like, oh, yes, these are our inmates putting on a play of what a riot would look like. Very good job, inmates. Very good job. Very good riots. Let's move along. Tour of the band breaks out. They go to like where all their gear or their citizen clothes or their civilian clothes are sort of stored. And Toro's box is number 666. Yep. They get dressed into their shit. The drummer's got, I put the black and black metal, basically what they were wearing at the end of.
The exact same outfits that they're wearing at the Norwegian festival is now the outfits that they put on.
And it just shows them standing there waiting, and this goes by for like 30 seconds or so, and then Zactrix finally comes around in his corpse paint and everything. He's like, it's been an hour. What the fuck have you been doing? He's like, it takes a while to put this on.
Yeah.
So then they leave. They run out through the courtyard, and they get to the door, and they're trying to like bump the key because he's in his stomach, so like holding him up.
Stomach, so it looks like he's like humping the key card thing.
And a guard comes out.
Well, he has his shirt down, and then he's like, "You should try bareback," so that he picks his shirt up to try to do it. It's funny.
But as he's doing that, the guard who is sort of watching over that gate comes out, and he's like, "Let me guess, you're part of the tour group," and they're like, "Yep." He's like, "Oh, I know these things. I'm really good at reading people. And let me guess, you want to leave?" And they're like, "Yes." He's like, "Oh, I'm really sorry you showed up on a day of the riot. We try our best not to do that. We hope you had fun, but yes, I will open the gate for you." So he opens the gate. The Rambo lady and the other police come out and like point across the courtyard like, "No, close that gate. Close that gate." And the guard turns to them and he's like, "I'm really sorry. I'm going to have to close the gate. Please move to the other side." And the band's like, "Oh, all right." And they move to the other side, closes the gate. Really comical sort of thing.
Yeah.
They run down to the boat. They're trying to get the key out of the stomach. They can't get the key out. He's going to shit himself to get the key out. Zactrix just pulls a key out and turns the boat on. He's like, "I have to go to the mainland to get albums for the library." So he's been going to the mainland to get these albums.
He had a key. The whole thing is like he had a key to get out of prison the whole time.
Yes.
And they did all that, so
they head back. They go to the farm. Around this time as well, you cut back to the prison. The Rambo lady's talking to the warden like, I'm going to go get these guys. They've ruined my career. I'm not going to let them ruin this prison because the Warren's worried about the prison getting a bad reputation. So they're going to try to keep this quiet, and they're going to grab them and bring them back. So they get to the farm. They see his father. He's laid up in bed. They're talking to his mother and all that. And while they're doing that, Toro calls Fisto. They're like, hey, we're ready to play Wacken. And he's like, oh, shit, it's great to hear from you guys. We already gave your spot away. But I have another festival XYZ location. If you can make it there, I can get you on for that.
But it's in 2 days.
It's in 2 days, yeah. They're like, shit, we need to get a car. Well, at this point, the Rambo lady shows up. So they go steal her car. The mom helps distract her.
Yeah, so like the Rambo lady gets out and she's like, come on, guys, got to go back to prison. Being all nice about it. Like, you got to come back to prison. And she's like, I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to get out here. And like, she starts counting and like, they just start coming out, like single file coming out the door. Yeah. And the mom does come out with like coffee or tea and biscuits or cookies or whatever, to be like, oh, do you want a snack or whatever? And as they're doing that, or as she's doing that, like they're getting in the car and stealing it.
They stole her car. Right. And that's how they drove to the ferry or to like the river or something where they need to cross, but they can't. They have no money. And
there is a like reference back to Heavy Trip as well, because Ola is like, you stole another car, because Turo stole the van, or the pop rock star guy's van. So yeah, just a little nod back that Toro's doing it again.
So the Rambo lady, the band, and the parents are the only sort of returning characters from Heavy Trip.
Yes, yeah.
The girlfriend, the police chief, and the Johnny Depp singer dude isn't in it.
Yeah, nope. None of those people came over.
So they're stuck. They need to figure out how to move on to the next area. So they sneak into a tour bus. I don't know why they picked that tour bus, but they knew it was going to a metal show or something, or heading that way. But they just hopped in the tour bus.
Yeah, I think they just needed to get across the ferry, and they had no money, so they saw a tour bus there. I don't think they knew it was like a tour bus. They just saw the bus in line. So they climbed like under where like the luggage stuff goes, like, so they climbed into one of those. You don't actually see them climbing into one of those. It's just a reference later that that's where they are.
So then who was it that popped their head out from the cushion? Was that Toro or the guitarist?
I think it's the guitarist.
But he pops his head out and there's like this corpse, this guy with like this really pale face laying on the couch across from him that he like looks his eyes into, or they lock eyes or something. And he screams and dumps back down. Like, what is it? He's like, there's a corpse up there. Next thing you know, the couch cushions are getting ripped off and you see the band down there. And they're like, what are you doing down there? That's for our roadie. And you see a roadie hanging out down there.
Like just sitting in the corner, But he has like a little setup in the corner and stuff.
Yeah, but he didn't say shit. Like, I'm really confused about all that.
And that's the only time you see him, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Another funny little moment. But they bring them up. They're like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you on our bus? And they're like, we're in a band. And then they see like the lead singer over here in the back. And like, oh my God, this is Blood Motor. Oh my God, I love you guys. You're so awesome. And it's like, yeah, we're going to play at this show. It's like, that's where we're supposed to go. Fisto's supposed to, we know Fisto or something. He's like, oh yeah, he's our manager as well. Go ahead, you can ride with us. And then they're talking about their music, the Blood Motor music and whatnot. And Zatrix is like, honestly, your last 2 albums have sucked. Yeah. There wasn't much inspiration there. The guitar riffs were lame, blah, blah, blah. They weren't good.
In his personality that he has. Lack of personality.
And the lead singer's like, well, I guess I'm going to go shit in my golden toilet.
Gold throne, yeah.
Which later on, he does have a golden toilet that he's pissing into. Basically just being like, I don't care what you think.
Right.
Like,
we've made money and that's all that matters.
Right. We get to the festival. Fisto's surprised they're there. He's like, wow, I was not expecting this. I don't think they had a gig lined up for them. I think their spot had been removed already. Because Fisto's like, I honestly didn't think you'd make it, so we gave your spot away, but you showed me your dedication to go here. I'm willing to work with you. We'll go ahead and work and something like that. So you go like through a makeover or some shit. I don't know. But Mephisto actually gave them a set list for all the songs they were going to play, and they were all covers.
Yeah.
And Zatrix was like, no, we're not playing covers. We're playing our music.
Right.
And he's like, all right, I guess you're not playing. So the band's all pissed off.
Yeah, I think before getting to them watching Blood Motor, and I'm not sure if it's between the set list, I think it's when they get off the bus, the vocalist for Blood Motor, like, kind of, I don't know, like, kind of like the scared puppy walks up to Fisto and kind of just like stands there and kind of like the slouched shoulders and stuff, kind of like I own you type thing.
Yeah.
Like you kind of get that vibe. You don't understand quite yet in the movie of it, but like you can kind of see it. If you know what happens, like you kind of see that.
Yeah. The drummer also then asks the guitarist for Blood Motor. He asks her like, what's up with the pipe that he's always smoking? And she basically explains like, you know, our first couple albums, nobody understood what the fuck we were saying. And then Fisto gave him that pipe to clear up his throat or voice so you can actually understand the lyrics. And that's when our careers really took off. So he takes that pipe to like, so you can understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forgot that all happened as well. But at the show, Toro eventually like wanders off for something. He like hears something in the distance and he wanders off. And the rest of the band stay to watch Blood Motor.
Are you meaning
Motor Blood.
Zatrix?
Zatrix. Who did I say? Toro?
Toro. Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Zatrix wandered off while the rest of the band stayed to watch. The singer for Blood Motor goes on. The whole band goes on stage and whatnot. But as he walks closer to the end of the stage, he gets like dragged down by the fans.
Yeah. That was a little bit of a like.
Yeah. There's a lot of moments in this.
Shouldn't happen.
Yeah. There's a lot of moments in this where I'm like, that's
Yeah.
kind of lame. That's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
In any case, he gets drug off stage and nobody's playing. The band's like, oh shit, this again. Like apparently it happens all the time. So they're
it's
just
kind of like
vamping.
a fangirl thing.
Yeah.
Like where like the fangirls are kind of like a Beatles thing or whatever, where it's like, oh my God.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, that doesn't happen. Whatever.
So they're just vamping. They're just playing without any vocals or whatnot. Toro, who knows all their lyrics, jumps on stage and starts filling in singing.
Yeah.
And Fisto's like, oh my God, this kid actually knows how to sing. This is fucking awesome. And while all that's happening, like I said, Zatrix had wandered off. And he hears this sound. He's like, what the fuck is this? And he goes and watches, and it's Baby Metal playing Give Me Chocolate in this venue that's really fucking cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. It's like a round circle room.
Yeah.
Where like all along the edge of like the stairway down or whatever, like people are just like kind of hanging over the edge watching it.
You hang over the edge of the stairs watching it because at the base of the staircase is just the stage where the band's playing. And even the band, well, just the Baby Metal girls are singing because the band is up there on that spiral staircase too, playing like the drum kit and whatnot. And I was like, that's a really, really cool little setup.
Yeah.
Not a real venue by any means, but it's like, it's a really cool vibe and setup for sure. But Zatric's sitting there watching it, and the drummer comes over for Impaled Rektum, and he's like, what is this? And Zatrix says something along the lines of, this is the worst thing to ever happen to metal, or something like that.
When we first saw this a few years ago, I laughed so hard right then because you were just getting into Baby Metal, or you liked Baby Metal, and I was like, I'm not really into that.
Yeah, we had seen them once, and you're like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
And that was really funny. I remember that happening when we saw it live for the first time. And then honestly, I don't remember what happened after that. I think they go to the Blood Motor after party or something.
Yeah, so there is a point where Ola, I don't know how to say his name, walks off, the drummer walks off, and he's like, well, I'm going to go watch Toro tear up the stage or something like that. So he walks off, and then you just see Zatrix like standing there with like his sad corpse paint on. That's what it makes me think of. But then it like pans down to his foot, and he's like tapping his foot, and then he realizes, so he pulls his foot back, like I can't like this.
Yes.
Because it's that whole persona that he has of like what metal is,
right?
And he's like, I can't be liking this,
right? Which
I have to say, I've caught myself at some shows where I'm like, I am not enjoying this, but then there's one song that comes on, and I'm like, nope, I don't like this.
Really?
I don't like this. No, I don't really do that, but I do catch myself like, you know, like being like, okay, I could maybe get into this.
That's funny.
Yeah.
They're at the after party. Ola introduces Zatrix to Baby Metal at the party.
Yeah.
And they're talking about like heavy, like black metal shit and whatnot. I can't remember. And Zatrix is kind of taken aback by how much knowledge they actually have around black metal and whatnot. And Ola's like, oh, he's your biggest fan or something like that. And Zatrix like, no, I'm not type thing. Other shit happens there at the party. I can't remember. I think Toro goes and asks the lead singer for Blood Motor. I keep saying Motor Breath.
I know. It's hard to keep them straight.
Blood Motor, and he's like, you know, Fisto knows this shit. Stick with him. He'll get you places in this industry if you want to get there. Can't remember all what happens. Honestly, there's a scene where they like the cop lady shows back up, and escape her by going into like this music paradise.
Yeah.
Not music paradise, but like music museum type thing.
Yeah, like where all the like collectible items are. There's like Lemmy's oh, did we skip over all that?
So I know that,
is that-
Fisto gives them. I don't think that's this.
No, it's
just yet.
it has to be before this because it's after the museum part that they see the portraits.
Oh right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there's a point where maybe this is where Toro's like, okay, yeah, we'll do it, and then they end up going and like getting like their portraits done. So they're in like a shooting studio, or like a
For photography.
studio. Yeah. Sorry, I knew what I was talking about. Just
And they're all
the words
getting
came out.
makeovers for
Yeah.
the new look of the band.
Yeah. And like Toro gets a hat that's supposedly Lemmy's hat, and then the guitarist just has like a paper bag over his head,
Yep.
which I think is reference to like you don't have a face for like a stage face or whatever.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing we can
So you
do.
just put like a smiley face on
Yeah.
on the bag.
Yeah, so like there's nothing we can do, so just put a bag over your head. And then Zatrix is in his get up or
Mm-hmm.
like his corpse paint, and then Ola is in like a lederhosen like shorts lederhosen thing.
Oh really?
Yeah, you don't remember? And then he has a wig on because he's bald, but he has like a
Okay.
wig on.
Okay.
And it's like, and he's like, and Toro says like, oh, the stylists here are just amazing, what they can do. And then Ola's like, they are like,
Yeah,
this
because
isn't
he's just
my-
getting like eyeliner done basically,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then he gets the Lemmy hat, and he's got like his own little get up and whatnot.
Yeah.
They do that photo shoot. I forgot about that. I think.
And then I can't remember where like the commander lady comes back in.
Yeah, so I can't either. I'm thinking that like Fisto agrees, like you guys can play your own music if you want. We're cool with that. Because it's definitely after seeing Toro perform the night before, he's like, you can go ahead and do that. They do that shoot. I think afterwards they're just wandering the city, and that's where she shows back up, and they escape from her.
Oh, right. They were hungry, but
Yeah.
they had no money. And that's when they're like, oh, maybe we can ask Fisto for an advance. And they're like looking at pretzels or something. And that's when the lady comes up and
They go
with the
through
car.
like
The museum.
the museum.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
remember all the artifacts that were in there,
Yeah,
but
I
there's a
can't
bunch.
either. Lemmy's guitar, or not Lemmy, Jimi Hendrix guitar.
Dave Mustaine's teeth or something, I
his
want to say.
hand.
Dave Mustaine's hand.
Yeah, and the guitarist is like in love with Dave Mustaine.
Right, because
so.
he wants to have riffs like Dave
Yeah.
Mustaine. He
Yeah.
just can't.
Yeah.
So
Oh, the hand had 6 fingers. And I think that was like
Oh.
the whole thing of like, this is how Dave Mustaine's able to get the riffs and I can't is because.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of references to a lot of bands.
they end up actually burning this down, and then they escape. I can't remember what's going on. They see the photos from the photo shoot you
Yeah.
had mentioned hanging on the wall, and everybody starts to realize Toro's like the only one in there. The other
Yeah.
band's in there, but they're like shaded out in the back.
Yeah.
And I think Zatrix is like, you'd make a pretty good solo artist. They somehow, the story keeps going on. They go into the studio where Fisto is, I guess Toro goes into Fisto and he's like, Fisto's like, hey, if you just want the money, here's the money. You don't have to perform. Here's $50,000. You can go off and do your own thing, or you can reject the money now, and we can work on your career and you can grow and make even more. And Toro turns it down. Doesn't tell the band or anything, because again, this money they're trying to raise is for the farm,
Right.
to save the farm.
Yeah.
But while Toro was in there, he hears like the music that they had written, their song is being like tweaked and
Yeah.
becoming something different.
Yeah, because they show a whole scene of them recording the song, and so like everybody's doing each part. The guitarist can't get any riffs out, but they're like, "Oh, it's okay. Like we got one, or we'll just like repeat that one riff
Yeah.
or something." And yeah, like anyways, they have that whole thing, and then they listen through it like once, or like listen to a little bit of it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is it. Like we got our sound. Like this is good or whatever." And everybody kind of agrees. And then I think the money thing happens.
Okay.
And then he comes back in to talk to him, and that's when he hears
Toro hears what it's turning into.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
nothing like they make.
No.
It's not
like
their music.
poppy radio
Yeah.
metal sound. I mean, it has metal sound, but it's like poppy radio metal.
And then Toro brings the rest of the band back in to listen to it, and all the band. Well, I think the band say they like it, except for Zatrix.
Yeah,
Where Zatrix is his hard ass. He's like, no, this sucks. I'm out of the band. I quit. And Toro goes to chase him down. Like, what are you doing? You can't quit. This is awesome, right? And he's like, you're gonna make a great solo artist. And he goes off and does his own
As he
thing.
like walks down the stair.
This insanely long staircase. Yeah.
Which is funny because the elevators are right behind him.
Yes.
But he's like walking down the stairs.
So I think the rest of the band starts to head over to Wacken to play their festival.
Mm-hmm.
Zatrix is sitting there on like the side of the road, and a car pulls up playing like black metal. You can hear it blaring, and the van door opens. Like I guess it's like a taxi, and it's the Baby Mill Girls there. And like, Zatrix, how's it going? You're going to Wacken, right? Do you want to ride? Do you want to ride with us? He's like, no, I quit the band. I'm not going to Wacken. He's like, oh, but you can come with us and be our guest. And he's like, no, I'm not.
Well, he thinks about it for a second.
Yeah. And they're like, but we're going to listen to this. And they pull up a cassette. And I can't remember what it is. They zoom in on it.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is either.
And Zach's like, oh my God, that's such and such album from such and such band. I thought that burned up in like The Purge or some sort of like The Awakening or whatever it was. I thought nobody had ever heard that. They're like, this is the only copy that exists and we got it. You can listen to it with us. And he's like, no, I'm good. He eventually ends up going back to Wacken, and I can't remember why.
Yeah. Oh, the commander lady comes and picks him up because she starts picking them up. I mean, foreshadowing that she starts picking them up one by one, but she comes with her burnout Jeep thing.
Armando
is what she calls it. And he gets in or whatever. And then she drives to Wacken.
Yeah. The rest of the band shows up at Wacken. There's like a funny scene where they're falling down like a hill or some shit. I can't remember how they got there or why, but whatever.
Yeah, I can't remember. They were like running from something.
Maybe the commander lady.
Maybe. And like they get to a hill and like the guitarist tumbles down the hill, and the drummer and Toro are like, there's stairs like right off to the side that they walk down.
They get to Wacken. They're in the backstage. They steal a hearse.
Right.
And that's how they get into Wacken, as they drive up to Wacken, the back door, and they're like, hey, yeah, so we're supposed to be here for Fisto, and like, your name's not on the list. And they're like, we're here to deliver a corpse. And he like looks and he's going through it. He's like, oh, yep, right here I have it. One corpse for XYZ band. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
Go on through. So that's how they snuck into Wacken. While there, the guitarist runs into Dave Mustaine, or so he thinks, from the back of his hair. Yeah. And the guy's like, no, I'm not Dave Mustaine. He's like, oh, but I met him once. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, he gave me the best solo. He's played the best solo ever. And I saw him backstage afterward, and I told him like how awesome his solo was. And you know what he said to me? He's like, what? And he like pulls back his chest or his shirt, because he has a tattoo on his chest, and something along the lines of like, I don't give a fuck what you think.
Yeah.
Dave Mustaine.
Yeah.
And he's like, and that's when I knew it. I just need to not give a fuck what anyone thinks. And then that's when the guitarist is like, that's my struggle. I care too much what people think. I'm just going to do my own thing. And that sort of like unlocks his potential. Yeah. He finds out because Toro's talking with Fisto. They're talking, and Fisto's basically like, oh yeah, Toro didn't tell you that like I offered him the money for the far, and he turned it down because he wanted the career, this life. And the guitarist's like, no. So he left the band. Yeah,
because he got mad because he's like, we could have saved the farm a long time ago, but we went through all this shit.
The drummer ends up leaving the band for some reason. I can't remember.
In the hearse, when you were talking about this, I remember. But like in the hearse, something happens where the drummer gets his like mental issue back, where like his rage back, and like he starts like beating up Toro or whatever, and ends up kicking out the door and kicking Toro out and stuff. Yeah. They get him out of the car, and then the lady picks him up again, the sergeant lady.
His rage in this movie, I was gonna say episode, but in this movie, I didn't like, because it was his face would go down and then come up to the camera, and he had like those really black demon eyes, like he's been taken over by a demon or some shit. Yeah,
and they didn't really show that in the first one.
They did not. It wasn't a part of the first one. Again, this one was more comical and cartoony. Yeah, and that was one of the cartoony bits. Was like, I don't really like that.
Where before it was just like he would like kind of like look up, and like he would have like the wide eye thing. Yeah, but and then he would like go into rage.
So Toro goes on stage for his performance. They get him all in his get up and whatnot. He's got these like little wings that pop out. Yeah. And they start playing his song, and he looks out in the crowd and he sees the sergeant lady come and pick up the guitars as well.
Because the guitarist came back because he talked to the guy, and so he came back and he's like, oh, I got this now. Like I can do this or whatever. And Toro was like kind of conflicted on like going out without his band, but like the Fisto guy was like, oh, you got to do this or whatever.
Yeah, because he like, I gotta go. I'm not playing. I gotta go get my band. I gotta go save my band. And Fisto's like, if you leave the stage, you are fucking done. You are never being anything in this. You will not leave the stage. I've invested so much money in you. Go out there and fucking play. Yeah. And he kicks him back out on stage.
Yeah. So this really is like the last, like there's 20 minutes of the movie between the recording studio and this part that you really see like how controlling he is and like how it's like you do what I say and not like you are not your own person anymore.
There's a part before the guitar figures out about like the whole money thing where he's on the phone. He's like, yeah, Lars said he's never going to talk to me again. And he's like, thanks, James. Thanks. And as soon as like that whole thing is done, he's like, I got to take this call. Hey, Lars, thought you were never going to talk to me again.
Yeah.
Like, just showing his like connections and whatnot.
Yeah.
Really funny. But Toro goes back on stage and he jumps out into the crowd, at which point the crowd's booing him and throwing shit at him and whatnot. He makes it to like the big tower in Wacken.
Oh, yeah.
And then it just cuts to him being at the top of the tower as he runs off to like dive, like to fly down.
He has the wings. Yeah, he has the wings, so he's going to like fly.
In the car in Armando, the other three are in the back seat and whatnot. And like a bird shits on the car windshield in front, and she's like, Armando, no, a bird. And she looks out, and next thing you know, Toro just crashes into the hood. I can't remember what happens and how the band gets out, but they just sort of like get out with Toro, and I don't know if she gets knocked out or something.
I can't remember all that part.
Yeah, but they're talking to him, and he's trying to like win them back, and they're like, no, we're not doing this. You're a dick and shit. So they all go their own ways. The three of them, and Toro goes his own ways. Like, I'm gonna save the band. I'm gonna save the farm. I'm gonna do what I need to save the farm. So the rest of the band starts to pick up cans around the festival to save the farm, and Toro is on this little makeshift stage in like the campgrounds, singing a cappella basically. No mic, no nothing. Just his growls and whatnot. And people are booing him and throwing cans at him. And Zatrix is like, Toro found a better way to collect cans because Ola was asking like, how many cans do we need to collect? Zatrix had a exact number, and the drummer's like, or this guitarist is like, I have 16, and they need like 16 million or something that. So that's when Zatrix is like, you know what, I have an idea, and he disappears. Cuts to Toro just sitting there singing and whatnot, and he's like defeated. And the guitarist comes back up and like gives him a microphone. Like, you can sing with this. I've got my guitar. I've learned how to get through the riffs and whatnot. And he plays a riff, and Zatrix is standing there, and he's like, oh yes, that sounds a little bit like this, but it's unique, just like he did the first movie. And he sits down. He's like, where'd you get all this gear? And they sit down the Baby Metal drum kit. And they're like, from Toro's favorite band. Or from Zatrix's favorite band. Yeah. And he's like, no, they're not my favorite. 7th favorites. And then they start playing their song. At which point the Fisto says, hey, we have a common enemy. We need to end this. And hands her a gun. And she goes out there like, I'm going to kill you. And blah, blah. And shoots towards Toro. The guitarist jumps in front to block the bullet. She shoots once, and she's like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. And she's like, taken aback.
Which is weird because she was so like gung-ho like in the first one, and then this one's like, oh my God, I shot a gun. Once.
It's maybe like, I've wanted to do this because of the movies, and then when you finally do it for the first time, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe that's not the feeling I wanted. There's a few things like that, especially Toro and his singing. In the first one, the big thing with him was his stage fright, and he didn't want to be in a big crowd. Throughout this movie, he earns. He's like eager. He's eager. He wants that wanting. He has that feeling of wanting to be the lead singer at the largest crowd. Because there's a couple times where they're talking, and he's like, well, how big's the crowd going to be? Because he just wants bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah. And maybe that's just saying like, hey, he got through that first show, and after that, then he's like, oh my God, I need the next crowd. I need a larger crowd. I need a larger crowd. So I that was one aspect I didn't like, as well as like the eyes we talked about and sort of her character. I didn't like the development there. But in any case, Fisto's off and about, and then Blood Motor, right? I get that name right this time?
Blood Motor,
shows up, and he's like, you guys are nothing without me, blah, blah, blah. And they're basically like, we're done. We're doing your shit anymore. And the lead singer doesn't take his little pipe or anything, but he just talks in his old growl, which causes Fisto's face to sort of like melt almost. Yeah,
because it goes back to like the death metal vocals and stuff where it's just like melting your face.
Yeah. I said Mephisto because that's like the devil character in Marvel.
Yeah.
The last few times we've watched this movie, I've always felt like Fisto was sort of the devil. I thought he was supposed to be represented like
you sell your soul to the devil.
Right. I think that's what he was supposed to be.
Yeah. It's a good comparison or whatever, where it's like you sell your soul to the devil, that whole story, or you sell yourself to the producer, you sell yourself to the record label, that sort of thing. Yeah.
So his character to me was always like the devil character.
Yeah.
They go up there, they play their first song. I can't remember what happens, but it cuts back to the prison, right? Well, so the guitarist gets up and they're like, "Oh my God, you're still alive." He was shot through the head, and he just kind of turns to the camera. You see the hole, and Zatcher's like, "Huh, I guess it didn't hit anything important up there."
Saying that he has no brains.
Yeah. They play their song at Wacken. I can't remember. So here's the thing: I can't remember how it wraps up.
Yeah.
But they end up going back to prison.
They do.
And they're being like, they're in their prison clothes, and they're being like pulled out. And you see like this haze in the silhouettes of the four nooses, the gallows. Yeah. And they go out to those gallows, and it turns out it's a stage in the prison yard, and they're sitting there playing their song. And one of the inmates is saying, "There's like, oh my God, I heard the guitarist got shot in the head and survived." And the person running the rails, or doing security at the rails, is that Rambo lady. And she's like, "And I was the one who pulled the trigger."
Oh no, because he says something about like got shot in the head and survived. That must have been a bad shot or something like that. Yeah. And she's like, don't go that far with the person that pulled the trigger or whatever.
Something like that.
Didn't say that she did it, but like, don't go against that person. Yeah.
But then it goes back to the warden, because the ground is full of inmates. Beforehand, the cafeteria, there was like 12 people at most. Now there's like 100 people out here on this ground. And the warden's just like so happy. He's like, "Oh, this is awesome. We're so busy. Everybody wants to come here. We're the most popular prison. People are causing so much crime just to get into this prison."
Yeah, to see them play.
And then it zooms out, and it's at Alcatraz prison again. And there's so many ships that are pulling up and being docked out into the water just to hear the music. Which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's a funny way to like wrap it all up.
Right. Yeah. I was thinking through both movies, I don't think you hear them play a song all the way through without issue.
Oh, I don't think so. Yeah.
The closest I think you get is in Heavy Trip at the end, that final performance, and that might be a complete song, and it might be the only time they played it. But yeah, even during this, I don't think you hear them playing a song in its entirety.
It kind of, even this last scene, like it kind of starts and then it does that pan out thing. So,
in terms of the two movies, I like that this one has more English.
Yeah, I was gonna say about 15 minutes ago, I was like, we never said that there's like it goes between Finnish and English a lot. So like when it's only the band, or it seems like when it's only the band, they speak a lot of Finnish.
Yes.
And then when it's the like prison guards or somebody else in there, it's English.
Yeah.
And not just Finnish.
Yeah.
Which is easier for us non-Finnish speaking people.
Especially me being dyslexic as well. I think I touched on this last time. Is like I hate foreign movies because of the reading aspect, because I can't keep up with the reading all the time and I miss things. For a movie like this and Heavy Trip, there's certain things I can like skip out on and still get the gist from context clues. But in between watching those two movies, I went to see Bob Dylan with a friend, and he was telling me about a movie, a foreign movie. I can't remember what it was, but it was like a dad following or trying to find his daughter after she went to a bunch of different like EDM shows or raves out in the desert, and it was like a moving rave, and he would like go chase her. I can't remember what it was called, but he said it was a foreign film. It's like, I didn't tell him like, shit, I'm not watching that because of the foreign aspect, because that's definitely one where it feels like you need to read every single word to understand what's going on. So again, that's just me personally, because of like being dyslexic and my reading abilities. Having to pause the movie or missing things definitely takes me out of the movie experience. So this one, having a lot more English, definitely helped, a lot less reading, so I was able to catch up, or I didn't miss as much. The character development for some of the characters I didn't like, as we touched on.
It was a little cheesy sometimes.
And the pacing was just way too fast. It was boom, 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 boom. Like getting from A to B to C was just like so quick.
Yeah. I feel like it had to be the whole like, we have a record or a producer who wants us to play, like, now we got to record songs, we got to play, we got to like go to all these festivals, like we got to do all this stuff and get it done in 90 minutes.
Right.
So
the B storyline for this was definitely the band falling apart.
Yeah.
Where the first movie, the B story, I think was like that love story.
The love story. Yeah.
So
I guess you get both sides of like bands, because it's like you always have like the girl who takes all the time, or like
the inner
the
conflicts.
rift, the rift within the band. Yeah.
All in all, though, I do think this was a great movie. I enjoy watching both of these. This is
enjoy 'em.
one I can see us putting on and just having in the background.
Yeah.
Because of that more
There's
English.
more English. Yeah. I have to say though, I enjoy the first one better.
Yeah, I think I enjoy the first one more too.
This one's cheesy, like we said multiple times. The first one kind of has that more like a band starting aspect of it.
Yeah.
And then there are cheesy parts of it.
Yeah.
But it's more, I guess I like the first half of Heavy Trip the most out of both movies because of that like starting band aspect of like we just playing in the basement, like we're trying to get our band going, blah, blah, that whole thing.
I agree with all of that as well. But you know, seeing both of these the same night as like that double feature, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's our first time seeing the first one as well as obviously the second one.
It is kind of funny. This just popped in my head, like looking at the front of this, is one of the other metal movies that we did was Lord of Metal or Metal Lords.
Metal Lords.
And the one guy, the guitarist, is kind of like a Zactrix type
he's definitely
character
that.
where it's like, we are metal. We do this because we are metal. This is metal.
This is metal. This is what metal is.
Yeah.
Metal is not a cello. Metal is not X. It's not Y. It's not B. And then toward the end, they start to change. Like, oh no, that is metal also.
So kind of like this, where Zactrix like sees baby metal, enjoys baby metal, you know, like sees other aspects of it and like kind of not necessarily changes over time, but kind of in a way changes over time.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's definitely representative of people in the community for sure, where it's like, this is metal. This is what metal is. If it's not this, fuck off. That's not metal.
Yeah.
That's some posery bullshit fucking thing.
Yeah.
If you like that, you're a fucking poser too. So that's sort of with the Zactrix characters. And as you said, the evolution of him over time, like, oh no, baby metal's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's going to wrap up this one. Hopefully not as choppy, but again, the movie's great. Definitely worth checking out. It's only like 96 minutes. So
yeah, it's not very long.
Quick hour and a half. So is the other movie.
Yeah.
A lot of fun just to like sit back, a popcorn movie for sure.
Oh, popcorn for sure.
And just an all around good music related movie for sure. The soundtrack's awesome as always, as the other one was too. So fun little movie to check out for sure. But yeah, get out there, check out movies, check out music. Most importantly, check out music. Go see some live music, support your band, support the art you love, and we'll see you out there.
Bye.